Good. How are you?
Oh, good.
Staying busy?
Not too much, so. Trying to keep my head above water.
Yeah. Uh,
North.
Easy store.
Yeah.
Daniel.
Okay.
I don't know if Daniel's gonna be here.
I don't know.
It's not really Daniels.
It's Travis, but I don't know if he's gonna make it up from Little Rock.
Yeah.
Daniel farmed it out to Little Rock because he needed something to do.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that big a deal.
They had a few calls, a
Yeah.
few rounds.
It
Had to
took
go
them a little
through.
longer.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I think Daniel, or no, the client. I don't know how much that was us, but talking to Travis a time or two, it seemed like his client wanted to push for too much. Maybe not.
For which one?
The easy
The
storage.
client was pushing hard just to
Yeah.
get an approval early without meeting all comments. Yeah, they were constantly pushing. I've got to get the clipper.
How can I help you?
Oh,
We did a little quicker because help them make a decision.
Yeah. It's nice to be nice. How are you?
Good. About to be gone for the rest of the month.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You have baby. Maybe Daniel said baby. It seems.
their plat today for that easement. So it's like it was a good day to bring it. Yeah. Hey guys.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
What was the best part of your weekend?
Probably just doing nothing because every weekend has been. I was in Texas last weekend. It was very fun,
Yeah.
but it was just very busy.
Yeah.
So it was. I was catching up all weekend
Yeah.
on chores. What about you?
I feel like all I did was work this weekend.
That's all I did.
Yeah. We went to a little Oktoberfest thing. It was fun. Saw some friends hang out.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait till it's like cool, crisp. Yeah, me too. Weather though.
Mm-hmm.
I have things out my yard that I want to do, and in the garage I want to do, but I'm not going to do it till
You
it comes off
refuse
the.
until it's not 90 degrees
Yep.
outside?
I need to clean my garage out, and I'm not going to do it even
Yeah.
until. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. It'll come. It will. I ran to Tulsa and back yesterday after church. My son's in that pilot school there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and their dorms are set up for 4 guys to room together, and the other 3 aren't going all the way through the school. They only got the licenses that they wanted, and then they bowed out because they had jobs serving that particular license. But he wants the full thing. So he's going all the way to the end. I know the truth though. This won't take very long tonight.
I'm going to hold you to that.
I never know.
I prophesied that to my mother. She lives with me now. How long are you going to be gone? Well, Mother, I think the meeting will go about 30 minutes, maybe. Well, I'll give you an hour. I'll be home in an hour. Is that 7 o'clock? Could be 7:30.
He's like, don't hold me to it, but
She
yeah.
holds me to it the very minute, you know. One night I walked in, she goes, "You're late. You didn't come home. You said you would." Oh, I don't know.
You're back to teenage years.
I said, last time I looked, I was accountable for my own time. There are days. It sure reminds me she's the mother. And I remind her I'm the landlord.
Darren. Yep. How are you, Darren? last roommate moved out, and they were using his TV and some of his pots and pans and stuff.
Oh.
And so, yeah, Scott had his stuff. It was just in the room of my house.
Yeah.
So I took it all to him. Yeah. It was a quick trip, but I got back late. Makes for a long one.
Especially leaving after church.
Yep.
Where do you go to church?
At Cross Church.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Rogers. Taylor goes there. I've seen him there.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I saw him a few weekends ago. There's so many people that go, you hardly see the same people twice. But
I'm sure it isn't nearly that big, and I still feel it. I'm still amazed that Christ Community plays there.
okay. I wonder
It's
if
on
it's
the
the same one.
square. It's Presbo Church.
I was gonna say it's not the same one. My friend Jackie goes to one, a community church in Fayetteville. I don't think it's that one.
Yeah. We have for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
We've gone to another one, and it had a little schism like right before COVID. And then we had kids, and there just weren't enough folks for our girls to have a place to be and live and stuff. So not fun.
Yeah.
Change.
It's pretty important
Yeah.
for them to want to
Yeah.
be included.
I agree.
Cross has so many,
Oh yeah.
so many small groups that you can choose what you want to do.
We still hang out with Fred, like we still have a small group that's mostly folks from our old church, and well, they're all folks from our old church, but most of them are Christ Community, so it's fun. And that
Yeah.
was easy, made it easy.
Makes better connections.
Yeah.
It was hard to connect with anybody in service.
Yeah, for sure. That's not really, it's just part of church being church.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did. I finished and ran over there and
Yep.
went to dinner with him, gave him his stuff, got it fixed up, came back. And I got over there and I had taken everything, but he has a TV stand in my storage building.
Oh.
Yeah. And got over there. He didn't have anything to put it on, and he had two little TV trays, and he said, "We can set it. It's a large TV." He said, "We can put it on this for now." And I was like, "I don't want to fall over." I said, "Let's go to Walmart." So I went and got a cheap stand for him
Yeah.
because he's got a good one here. And I told him when he gets finished there, just to pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah. Shoot, in college we had a 2x8 and a couple of cinder blocks, and that was all we ever used.
Sounds like furniture I grew up with.
Yeah. Tired.
Me too. And you probably are listening to the humming of that fan for the last, couple of hours.
They fan and HVAC go out on your server or what?
What do I need to do
Yep.
to pull up the meeting tonight?
That's a good question.
For some reason, it don't come up.
First, Karen's gonna need a $20 bill.
Well, I don't have it. I've got $3. I give her $3.
It's 6 o'clock, sir.
All right, if somebody can corral Mr. Walker, we can get started. It is 6 o'clock.
I'm here.
It's attached.
We'll get him over here. Better make sure your microphones are on, pointed in the appropriate direction. All right, we'll call this meeting to order. If you'd rise, please, for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance.
Bow with me in prayer, please. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the day. We thank you for being with us all day. We thank you. We know you're with us now and will help all of us to discuss and figure out what we need to do for the best for the citizens, best for the developers, etc. We thank you, God, for our health. We thank you for other things that you've helped us with today. We also hold the Kirk family up tonight, Lord, for the loss of their husband and father. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, roll call, please.
James Walker.
Here.
Darren Brock.
Here.
Tony Kostarowski.
Here.
Frank Musivnik.
Here.
Ryan Clark. Mark him absent. Tim Cox.
Here.
And Chase Henricks.
Here.
We have quorum.
All right, you have the minutes of our last Board of Zoning Adjustments meeting from July 21st, been a while. Unless there's any corrections needing made, I'll accept a motion to approve those as written.
So moved.
Second.
All right, we have a motion made and seconded to approve. Roll call, please.
James Walker.
Yes.
Chase Henricks.
I will abstain.
All right.
Abstain?
I was absent that night.
Yeah, he was. He cannot vote on this. Tony Kostarowski.
Yes.
Frank Musivnik.
Yes.
And Tim Cox.
Yes.
And Darren Brock.
Yes.
The minutes of July 21, 25 as written are approved.
All right, we have a couple of items of new business. They both require public hearings. Our first one is Providence Classical Christian Academy, looking for a variance, and this is a public hearing. So come on up, give us your name and address, and tell us what we're asking for this evening.
Yes, my name is Dan Cole with Sand Creek Engineering, representing Providence School. What we have for you is a variance for regards to paving being gravel or off-street parking instead of pavement. The special condition, the hardship being, this is supporting the storm shelter and gymnasium, not necessarily our everyday use, which is still planned on being supported with regular paving and parking stalls. So the literal interpretation part of that is within your parking code, it does not allow for the special events storm shelter pieces. And I do want to note again, we are providing hard surface parking for supporting our admin and classrooms. In the event that, if this was approved by you, this does not create like a special use, because with the school being a conditional use inside the zoning, I feel that it would conform and fit inside your existing code.
All right, so we're looking for a variance from not required to pave all the space. You are providing parking for all the people that work at the school and students and whatever is necessary. This is just auxiliary area that is not commonly used, I guess. All right, we do have a public hearing on this, so let me open that up here at 6:03. If anyone would like to speak either for or against the granting of this variance, we'd love to hear your opinion. If you'd like to come to the microphone, we'll give you 2 minutes and hear your opinion. All right, seeing none. Did we receive anything in City Hall? Any comments? All right, we'll close it at 6:04. Please come back up to the microphone and I'll open it up to our board here. Gentlemen, you got questions?
When do we see this potentially being used? You said special events and then storm. I guess understand the storm aspect.
Yeah, the storm, if I understand the code correctly, for the school, we have to provide storm shelter facilities inside for the students on site.
Okay.
And that is a part of that. And in addition to the storm shelter, inside of that, in the building envelope, the school is planning on using that for events such as, we could have kind of specific things, but anything outside the normal operations of general instruction.
So this is going to be surrounding that building? Is that the area we're talking about? Or?
It won't be surrounding, it's when for the exhibit, you see that phase 1 label, that black block just northwest of it.
Just down from the baseball field, the
Correct.
first block south of the baseball field?
And that area to due west of that,
Right.
that is specifically the area where we're requesting the variance for the gravel.
Gotcha. There it is. That's a better view of the area they're talking about. It's got the little gray hatching up there or whatever.
Good evening. My name is Jason Ross. I serve as head of school at Providence Academy. Thank you. Yeah, I can speak to the usage just a little more. That storm shelter will also be used for cafeteria space. We're not going to be serving hot lunches out of that space, but we'll allow the students to eat there. There'll be some practices for basketball and volleyball, for instance, out of that space as well.
All right, so where will the paved parking be on what we're looking at?
The south that you see west of our modulars, that's where the classrooms, administration.
So that's that strip down the side that we're seeing south of that? Okay, that's where the paved parking will be for the,
Yes, sir.
for
We're
the
calling
school.
that, those modulars are village, and just to the west of that grouping of modulars is where that permanent parking will be for staff,
Okay.
so forth.
Do you guys see the school growing to the point where you guys would actually need to utilize that for daily parking? And if so, what would your plan be for that if that's gravel for special parking?
Yes, sir, thank you. I do believe it will. If we could have 5 to 7 years, I think that's when we'll be able to pave that space. We also have plans to put in our permanent 9th through 12th grade building just north of that permanent parking that you see on the rendering.
Okay.
That would be phase 2.
All right, other questions?
Just from a parking standpoint, this would primarily be used for special events to physically park vehicles. Is that correct?
Could you say the last part?
Sorry, this would primarily be used as a parking portion for special events. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Overflow parking and, like I said, just parents dropping off for practice and that kind of thing.
So what's the undue hardship?
The undue hardship is with that storm shelter being there, with that piece of it being the extra requirement, that's over and above what just having classroom space would be. Because I'm drawing the line on, with the classrooms, we provide the hard surface paving to the minimum standard for this classroom's administration. Hardship being with the school requiring the storm shelter, that being above and beyond the normal care.
But the school's requiring the storm shelter, right?
I believe is a building code for having educational facilities and kids on site.
It's new code this year, this calendar year. Whereas schools in the past didn't have to meet that code.
Okay.
Do y'all have anything in plan or, I guess, in place or an idea to contain all that gravel? I mean, I assume the roads entering and exiting that facility would be private roads to you all. So, I mean, did y'all have a plan to contain all the rocks and gravel to make sure it doesn't make its way onto the roadway?
Speak to that. Yeah. Right now, we don't have, there's no curb and gutter. So in essence, to answer no, with it being internally and not subject to public right of way.
The asphalt edge would help.
Yeah. It is bound by hard surface, full width paving, and all those requirements.
So just so I understand, so the hardship is because the code changed, and that requires you to put the storm shelter, and now because you're meeting code, putting the storm shelter in requires you to pave this entire area.
Yes.
And that's a hardship
Yes.
to meet code.
The new code, because of the storm shelter being there, and just like educational facilities, we meet the minimum code for providing parking for the classrooms and administration. The storm shelter being the extra piece that goes above and beyond.
To clarify, the storm shelter materials are about twice the cost of typical commercial materials. So we're spending quite a bit more to erect that facility. That's why we're asking for consideration.
Karen, have we not in the past, I want to say maybe over at the Matrix Center, allowed for gravel parking for special event, or there was an event center that came through a year or so ago? that
Yeah,
asked-
Matrix has True Grid.
True Grid.
A different product.
I was thinking there was an overflow parking area that we might have allowed gravel previously, that this kind of, I think what Tony's asking at is something that I wasn't really sure how the storm shelter really dictates the gravel. But for event parking and overflow parking that's used irregularly, I feel like we might have done this in the past where we allowed it, but maybe I'm misremembering.
We have allowed gravel. Do
We
you
have
remember
a food
specific?
truck park, or well, not park, but the food trucks there at Robinson and 71
I feel like there was an,
have gravel, and that's permitted in the food truck world. We had another request that was on a industrial site in the last year or so.
And Scott Equipment came through and had specific gravel areas. And we have allowed gravel to some extent.
to some extent,
Mhm.
for
And
irregular.
speaking on their behalf, they've been planning this school for quite some time. And I know they've planned it with funding in place, and they're starting out with these modular facilities on site. And when they presented that, they were presented with the code that because it's modular facilities, they had to have that storm shelter, which makes sense for the safety of the kids, but I don't think that was something that was planned with it.
Understood.
Yeah. So that's kind of what it put them in a catch-22.
So if the classrooms were not in a modular configuration or construction, the storm shelter would not be required.
That would be a question for our building code, but
Yeah, you'd have to have some portion of the building constructed as a storm shelter, I would assume. I'm not a building code guy, but just, that's my assumption. Sept isn't.
I'm
Yeah,
not an expert either.
specification.
My understanding is regardless of whether it's modular or permanent structures, storm shelter is now required for new construction. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, so basically the problem arises that the modular structures you're bringing in do not qualify as storm worthy. They're not storm shelters. So you're required to build a different facility that can withstand storms. Is that what we're looking at?
I think that's short answer, yes. But regardless of whether the type of structure they will, you still have to have the storm facilities.
Either within that structure or
Right.
And remind me, variances forever, correct?
Yes. It's for the property.
Mr. Keeklek?
You could set time limits.
All right, yes, okay.
If you did it now, if you didn't, I agree, it would just keep on going.
Is there a proper way to make sure, if we wanted to revisit this in 5 or 7 years, as was potentially mentioned by the applicant, is there a best way to make sure we include that in the variance? All right, 5 to 7 years?
Well, it's like you do it with Airbnbs, right? You have them come in every year. It's conceivable. You'd have to like tattoo it onto someone's head or something, to make sure you remember it. I mean, scratch through the walls or something. It'd be hard to,
Fair enough.
So would
You could check back and say, hey, every 24 months, we want to know the condition. We want photographs. We want a report from your inspector. Is the gravel all over the place? Is everything working out? Do we have problems? You do that, and then say after the second year, we also would want to address it 6 years ago.
What did you say was the thing that was gonna, initiate paving? Like, what had to happen before you would consider paving this? What did you say?
Potentially phase 2, which we depending on fundraising, anticipate coming in 2030, 2032
Okay.
range. So again, that 5 to 7 year range that I mentioned before, we would appreciate that accommodation. I just want to be clear, we intend to do things very well with excellence and have a beautiful property there that Lowell will be proud of. And so as soon as we can do it, really, we'll be looking to do that.
And would phase 2 trigger some event that the city would have to approve?
Well, these aren't going to be modular forever. You could
Right.
just say, when this is updated to an actual large scale with,
Right, so they would, when
Permanent
they go to update them, they would have to submit large scale, and large
they're
scale
under
would.
large scale right now.
They'd have to at least submit a building permit
Okay,
for the future buildings. Depending on the scale, they would probably have to go through large scale again,
okay. And
just the nature of the investment.
Yeah, if you're building a high school facility, I would imagine that would be large enough it would trigger. So you would have a chance to review.
Right.
I almost wouldn't tie this to any kind of future scaling. I mean, we all, or I'm sure they anticipate a 5 to 7 year growth, but what if that growth is hindered by lack of donations or something and they
Right.
don't come back in for a second phase? I think I would prefer it to be somewhere of a time frame. You know, whatever we agree upon that.
With maybe periodic review.
Every
Yeah.
24 months,
Yeah.
that seemed like a reasonable request.
Yeah.
Sure. 'Cause, you know, allowing gravel can create its own problems and get, you know, tracked out and all kinds of issues that, you know, that we look to really discourage gravel parking. But yeah, if we had like a 24-month review, just make sure it's being maintained and, you know, properly done, I'd be comfortable with that, I would imagine.
Does anybody have any more questions? Because I'll make a motion to approve the variance, but on a 24-month review, and then the variant be in effect no longer than 7 years? Or would you like to shrink in that to 5?
I think 7's fine.
7?
Anticipating that they could end up paving before
Yeah.
the variance is over.
Yeah. In 36 months, it could be paved for, you know, hopefully you guys do get all the
Wonderful
fundraising and money that you're needing and wanting.
Yeah.
So that would be my
Okay.
stipulation.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion properly made and seconded to approve the variance with a 24-month review of the conditions of this gravel lot and a 7-year time limit for the variance to have to be reapplied for if needed at that point.
Good.
All right, roll call, please.
Frank Masivnik,
Yes.
Chase Henricks,
Yes.
James Walker,
Yes.
Tim Cox,
Yes.
Tony Kostarowski,
Yes.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Motion to approve the Providence Classical Christian Academy variance. Off-street parking loading is approved with a 24-month review and no longer than 7 years.
Every 24 months.
Every,
Yeah, not just 24 months and done, every 24 months.
2 years, 4 years.
Rolling every, yeah.
6 years.
got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, our second item of business is Larry Breeden with Lowell Acres. This is also a public hearing and a variance request. So, right on up, give us your name and address and tell us what we're asking for tonight.
Good evening, I'm Charles Arden with Jorgensen and Associates.
Okay.
We're at 124 West Sunbridge Drive in Fayetteville. Yeah, I'm here representing Larry Breeden for his large-scale development at 117 Lincoln Street, which is across the street at the end of the block down here. This development is for a truck leasing business, MHC Truck Leasing, and we're requesting a variance from the city's perimeter landscaping requirements to plant trees, one per every 25 linear feet along the north property line. The intent of this requirement is to create a visual barrier between properties, and to the north of this property is the city's street department building, which already has an existing 6-foot privacy fence, and the city's street department equipment building backs up to the property, creating an existing visual barrier there. So due to these existing conditions, we're requesting a variance from the perimeter trees along the north property line.
All right, that would be the line highlighted in yellow on our.
Yeah, north is facing left on this plan here.
Right.
So yeah, the line highlighted in yellow.
All right. Questions? Oh, let me hold a public hearing on this, pardon me. This is a public hearing, so if you step back from the mic just a moment. 6:19, open it up. If anyone would like to speak either for or against the granting of this variance for screening and landscaping requirements, please come up to the microphone. We'd love to hear from you. All right, seeing none, anything received at City Hall? All right, we'll close the public hearing at 6:20. Please come back up. Thank you. All right, questions, thoughts?
This is 175 linear feet, correct?
I believe.
That sounds
That's
about
what the
right.
survey shows, yeah.
Sounds
7,
right from what I was looking at before.
7 trees.
Correct.
Yes.
Our code also states that existing screening on neighboring property shouldn't really be considered.
Right? Because, I mean, that could come down.
Yes.
So, yeah. I mean, one of the stipulations is there has to be significant hardship, and for 7 trees, I don't see the hardship.
Yeah, we did have an initial meeting with the city planners and the different reviewing departments, and it sounded like the city street department was in favor. I believe they were in the meeting, and so I think that was a recommendation that was brought up by the reviewers. So that's kind of how the process got started there.
So according to this, so everything I guess would be the south side of this property where all those trees are, those, you'll take all those out to build, right?
Yes, most of the trees would come out. There are a few that would be preserved, but the existing trees around the water tower and along the existing asphalt there would come out mostly.
Okay.
So is this going to be considered an industrial use of this property now, or is this a?
It's an industrial zone, it's an industrial use.
Okay, and our code has, that we don't have to have buffers between industrial uses, is that
No,
correct?
your code says you do not have to have a screen between the industrial uses. You still have to have a buffer.
Okay, all right.
So the code requires a 10-foot landscaping buffer surrounding the perimeter of the property. And on your exterior perimeters, such as this, it would be 1 tree every 25 linear feet.
Gotcha. Okay. Just wanted to clarify that, because I know there was something with the industrial zones being both in there, so. There is screening that exists already, but with the fence, right?
Yeah, but we do not count fencing or the opposite property as screening.
With all that stated, I struggle to see the true hardship here, and we're talking 7 or 8 trees on a large scale. I don't think I can support this variance.
Any other questions? Any thoughts on that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All right, we've had a motion properly made and seconded to approve. Roll call, please.
Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Chase Hendricks,
No.
Brian, he's not here. James Walker,
Yes.
Tim Cox,
No.
Tony Kosarowski,
No.
and Darren Brock.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. So it fails?
Yes, ma'am.
It does fail. Only 2 yeses.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. The next item, that's all that we have on the Board of Zoning Adjustments, so I'll accept a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved?
Second?
All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right, we will move immediately into the Planning Commission meeting. Roll call, please.
James Walker,
Yes. Here.
here. Brian Clark, absent. Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Tony Kosarowski,
Here.
Tim Cox,
Here.
Darren Brock,
Here.
and Chase Hendricks.
I'm here.
We have quorum.
All right, you have the minutes of our last meeting from August 5th, or is this September 5th?
August 5th.
It is August 5th, okay. Yeah. Well, actually, it says September 4th.
It was
no,
the,
it's
it was
September
that,
4th.
yeah, it was the Thursday.
Yeah, it was a Thursday.
It was September 4th, according to the minutes.
Yeah, well, according to,
So just making sure we're voting on the right thing. You have the minutes of the September 4th meeting in your packet there. It says the 5th, but look at the minutes that are included.
okay.
Oh,
Got written on
the
it.
agenda.
Right. So, All right. The agenda is wrong, the minutes should be correct. The dates. Just making sure it's clear.
Thank you.
Just keeping us clear. All right, unless there's any changes needing made, I'll accept the motion to approve those as written.
So moved.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
James Walker,
Yes.
Tim Cox,
Abstain.
thank you. Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Tony Kostarowski,
Yes.
Ryan Clark, absent. Chase Henricks.
Yes.
Yes. Motion to approve minutes of 9/4/25 are approved.
All right. This time we have our public forum. This is when we open up the microphone to where anyone in the public can bring anything to our attention. This is not a public hearing, nothing that's necessarily on the agenda. We do have a public hearing on the agenda, but this is just an open mic time to bring things to our attention. So I'll open that up if anyone would like to speak. 6:26. All right, we'll close that, seeing no one rushing to the microphone. We have no items of old business, and the first item of new business is our friend Larry Breeden at 117 North Lincoln. So you were last in the other meeting, we'll put you first this meeting, so bump right at the top. This will be a public hearing, but tell us what we're looking for here with this conditional use.
Yeah, I'm Charles Zarden again with Jorgensen and Associates, representing Larry Breeden for his large-scale development, and he's requesting a conditional use to allow a truck leasing business for this industrial zone property, which I believe is a conditional use in industrial zones.
Right.
And so he plans to open a MHC truck leasing business, which is a business that leases tractors, trailers, box trucks, delivery vehicles.
The big things.
Yeah, so, they have an office in the front of the building for customers to come in, and then kind of a warehouse in the back to, clean the trucks and prepare them to be rented. He thinks they'll have about 4 employees, and they might, have a few customers per day, and most of the time they make deliveries to, deliver the vehicles to their customers. So,
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's kind of a highlight of the business, and I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
All right. Let me hold a public hearing on it, and then we'll get into that. If you step back for just a moment. All right, anyone that would like to speak at this time, either granting of this conditional use permit or denying this conditional use permit, we'd love to hear from you. 6:28, we'll open this public hearing up. All right, seeing none, did we get any feedback at City Hall from anyone? All right, 6:28, come back up, please. We've had our public hearing, I'll open it up to the commission now.
Seems like a reasonable use in an industrial area to me.
Especially right next to the railroad track, right? Not a lot of people want to be there, a lot of businesses, and this.
What's your ideal of inventory? How many trucks, trailers? Do you guys have an idea, or does he have an idea of how much he intends to have there?
I'm not sure what number he intends to have. He operates one in Van Buren right now, and it wasn't super packed or anything. The parking lot seemed pretty clean, not even half full, and it was about the same size as this. So that's all I know at this point.
No, you're fine. Do they intend to have their own mechanic shop on site to work on the trucks, trailers, all that stuff?
I think they'll do small repairs and cleaning mostly. He said they won't do full. It's not a full mechanic shop.
Okay.
They'll
Maybe change a tire or something.
Yeah, change windshield wipers and mostly maintenance and stuff like that. That's all he plans to do.
So we don't have to worry about hydraulic fluid, brake fluid, motor fluid, any of that kind of stuff all over the parking lot?
No, definitely not. He assured us there's nothing like that.
Okay.
Well, normally I'd worry on conditional use permits about hours of operation, but seeing what this is surrounded by, I don't know that I care as much. Although it sounds like this would be a daytime business. It's not like it would be there late into the hours of night renting trucks, but.
Yeah.
I feel like the train's probably louder than they would be anyways.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, you can always put that in the conditional use permit because you have a chance to put conditions you think are applicable, but.
Well, do keep in mind though, just across the tracks, you have an approved large scale for the flare. And that is your mixed-use development with a majority of housing. And we do have retail in the frontage, but
It's on the agenda later.
yeah.
Oh.
It's coming.
Oh, thank you.
Isn't there a landscaping buffer on the back side of this though? I guess it would be on the east side.
Yes, it will be provided.
What's the, if this is a conditional use in this zone, what zone would this normally be found in?
It's a conditional use in either.
Any zone.
Yeah, either commercial or industrial.
Do they plan to operate on, excuse me, do they plan to operate on the weekends or just a Monday through Friday only?
I think it's Monday through Friday, kind of 8 to 5 time.
So if we wanted to talk operating hours, we could do standard noise ordinance hours, which were what, 7 to 10? That's well beyond what would probably be required, I would imagine, but I don't want to shoo them into a Monday through Friday only if they're going to operate if they want to operate Saturday, Sunday, or something like this.
I don't personally see a lot of restrictions that needs to be put on the conditional use permit in this one. But if anything that anyone sees applicable, that, I mean, they gotta conform with the code for noise anyway.
Correct.
Regardless of whether it's a conditional use permit, you can't disregard the noise ordinance, period. Which generally a truck's not gonna have a problem with that unless it's not running any mufflers of any kind. Especially if they're not working on them, banging a lot of stuff. They're not loading and unloading trucks here, they're just wasting them out. So for the use it's asking for, I don't know if anyone sees any condition you feel would be applicable.
Anybody interested on a time frame or no? Good.
Noise ordinance should cover it.
Oh, it was the time frame of expiration on the conditional use permit.
I don't know if that's necessary either.
And if that's the case, if everybody have any questions, I'll make a motion to approve the conditional use permit.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion made to approve the conditional use permit. Roll call, please.
James Walker,
Say that again, James. Say it again. I don't think she heard you.
James Walker.
I said yes.
Thank you, I didn't hear
She
you.
didn't hear you.
Tim Cox,
Said it anyway.
Yes.
have to be sure. Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Tony Kostarowski,
Yes.
and Chase Hendricks.
Yes.
Motion to approve Larry Breeden Lowell Acres LLC, conditional use permit, et cetera, is approved.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our next item is a large-scale development for NWA storage on West Monroe. So, hello. Give us your name and address and tell us what we're looking at tonight.
I'm Libby Topping with Craft and Toll, 401 North 47th Street in Rogers. This is an indoor storage facility off of Monroe, Highway 264. We're basically doing some surrounding infrastructure to help function with the indoor storage, and not really any other kind of public improvements besides sidewalk. So, happy to answer any questions.
All right. Questions? This is the large scale looking for approval.
Looks like staff comments have all been addressed and met.
They have.
Anything else you need to know? Are we ready for a motion?
I move to approve.
Second.
All right, we have a motion properly made and seconded to approve the large-scale development. Roll call, please.
James Walker,
Yes.
Tim Cox,
Yes.
Frank Musivnik,
Yes.
Darren Brock,
Yes.
Tony Kostarowski,
Yes.
Chase Hendricks.
Yes.
Motion to approve NWA storage large-scale development is approved.
Thank you.
Question,
Yes.
for clarification, we put no conditional use.
We added no conditions
Thank you.
to the conditional use
I
permit.
want to be sure.
Yes, that's correct. All right, our last item of new business is Enclave Row Homes at 409 Avenue. This is a preliminary plat, so give us your name, address, tell us what we're looking at tonight.
Yes, sir. Jay Sniggles with Expedient Civil Engineering, 9200 Suitsus Drive, Bella Vista, Arkansas. We're looking to do about 30, it's kind of a unique concept, row houses, so really small lots with a private street with some on-street parking adjacent to that, with some sidewalk construction as requested by the city to be constructed. With that, I'll answer any questions you may have.
So the row houses, I'm not really familiar with that.
So they're just real narrow. I think Rogers has some of them that they've
They
done.
don't connect, they're not touching.
No, they're not connected.
They are
It's not a
separate
condo. They
individual.
have separate. Although these are, the one lot line is 0 lot line and the other side has 10 to provide you a little bit more, green space instead of having just, 5 foot to a fence and then the other person having 5.
Sure.
You get
sure.
a 10-foot green space. So,
Offset.
yeah.
Gotcha.
So,
And obviously, very small, 'cause I saw some of these lots are like 1,200 square feet for the whole lot, so the house itself
yeah.
is not gonna be very large.
I mean, they are some of them are 2 stories, so.
Okay. That would
That's where you get your square
add some
footage.
square footage for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's a market for smaller houses with the prices of an average home these days.
Yeah, I think that's the intent, is to get something affordable on the market.
Yeah, something to bring a price down in a range that more people can access, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, questions, commissioners? You've seen the plans.
The only question I had, I don't know if it's truly applicable in this sense, but I know the property to the south, that's where you guys showed tying into some drainage. If that's not constructed at the time, do you guys have a plan?
Yeah, we'll obviously have to construct it, and I think we have those plans that the other engineer had designed, so.
Yep.
Yep. That's what we'll have to do, get it to drain.
All right, and so your street on Monroe that comes out there, I assume that lines up with the street across to the south? I wasn't sure, I
It
couldn't
does.
really tell
You're
that
talking
from the
about Green
plans.
Acres.
Is that what we did?
Yeah,
Split 'em in.
this lines up with the Flares Street on Green Acres, and Green Acres aligns with the street to the south.
Gotcha. It looked like about where it was positioned on the lot that it should line up with the continuing street down there. I just thought we wouldn't want it to be offset just a little, be awkward.
Yeah.
We want to make it a nice clean intersection there.
Okay.
Little different look coming there with the row houses.
I assume everything meets city code as far as space and spec and all that stuff for the lots and the houses?
They have gone through the
Setbacks, all that good stuff?
process.
You know, if the property to the south does end up developing, I think this will fit nicely, because I know those are tighter lots as well. So I think this is a good project for the place. You know, this is our downtown zone, and this is right here, so.
Yep, bringing some more affordable housing around. For sure.
Nobody has any other questions, I'll make a motion to approve.
Tim did that?
That was Tim.
Thank you.
Second.
Tony?
Yep.
Got it.
All right, we've had a motion properly made and seconded to approve the preliminary plat. Roll call, please.
James Walker.
Yes.
Tim Cox.
Yes.
Frank Musevnik.
Yes.
Darren Brock.
Yes.
Tony Kostarowski.
Yes.
Chase Henricks.
Yes.
Motion to approve Enclave Row Homes preliminary plat is approved.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
All right, that was our last item of business. Let's see, our next meeting is scheduled for October the 6th. The Lowell Fall Cleanup is coming up rather shortly, just like a week and a half or so on that Saturday. Of course, that's going to be right across the street here.
Across from
Gather
the
up all
fire
your
station.
garbage. Yep, across from the fire station. Gather up all your big garbage that you can't put in the trash can and bring it on up. I'll be out of town, so somebody have to come pick up my trash for me.
Okay.
And then our tree giveaway, we can't forget about that, coming up October 18th. We have 4 different varieties of trees this time, so get here early if you want your pick, October 18th. All right, anything else we need to discuss? Then I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? 6:39. Thank you, everybody.
Now, this Enclave.
Yeah, maybe this will make it count for Huntsville.
I don't guess I've seen those. Little bitty thing. Well, I wouldn't go with one, but I'm sure with the prices of house these days,
How much are they? Did they say in there?
I didn't know, it doesn't say it. This is just preliminary plat, though. There'll be, there'll be more plans coming. But, I mean, the lot is 1,200 square feet, so the house is gonna be like
You
600,
walk out of your
700,
house
800
and you
square
walk
feet.
right into your neighbor's house. You
Yeah.
barely have, you know,
Yeah,
and I can't.
I bet they still sell them for 100 to 150,000.
I bet they do too.
Yeah.
It'll be cheaper.
But, you know, you can't buy a house anywhere Like in my neighborhood, the neighbor's house sold last April for $270. And it's like 1,400 square feet.
Yeah, yeah.
And sold for $270.
270, mine is what, behind.
So it's like just like 1,200 square foot house is gonna cost you over $200,000 here in Lowell.
And it's like this.
Yeah,
And then-
so
and then
these will
you
be
have the
close
front
together,
row,
little
then you
dinky
have the back
lots.
row.
Yeah. I mean, there'll be little dinky lots, but if someone wants to buy a
If
house
they
and quit
can live
paying
with it,
rent,
it's none of my business.
then
But if it goes down, then it's just becomes a real house of
the
trash.
slums, then it's gotta be cleaned up.
I just don't know about this.
But I couldn't live in one,
couldn't.
I couldn't do it, but
Maybe by
I'm sure
myself.
there's people that will be able to do that.
Well, they're
and-
renting them down there. We
And
pass
they
them
can't
every
afford a
week.
$250,000 house.
No, they can't.
And,
And apartments are $1,500, $2,000
yeah,
a month.
yeah, $2,000 and stuff, yeah.
Oh,
So this does provide a better option
okay.
that, you know.
And it's gonna be right down here.
It's gonna be, right down at the end by the railroad tracks. There's that empty lot right there, that great big lot. Right there.
We had something else go in over there and it didn't.
They,
come
we
out.
approved something
Yeah,
and no
we
one
did.
ever built
Right,
it, so
right.
I guess
Okay,
it fell
I know where
apart.
it is. I wanted to buy that. Then you have the trains coming through on top of it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'll pass these every day, cause my house is in that neighborhood, past there and down to the south.
Yeah, okay, well.
I'll
young
pass it, so
people
I'll keep an
probably
eye on it.
Can handle it.
But this will be good for young folks trying to get a start in the housing
would
market.
think
They
so.
can buy these little dinky things and
Oh.
have
And they have
something
to
of their
get
own.
furniture to size. If they get furniture to size,
You know.
then it's comfortable. But a big couch in
Yeah.
the living room, no way.
But there's gotta be houses that are gonna be like 700 square feet or something in here. It's gotta be little ones. They have to do two-story. Two-story, you can get
Yeah,
a little more
when I
space,
was
but.
living in apartments, I did live in an apartment I thought was rather roomy. Had an upstairs, you know. My cat had one closet for her area. I thought I made laugh. Anyway, several years later, I wanted to go back and see that place. Kind of romance, you know, go back and see my romantic place.
There you go.
I said, oh, I really live here.
Things are different when you're young and trying to get started and you live in a place and it's like, wow, look at this place. It's mine. Look where I live.
I love it.
You guys look at these, I'm saying, man, you think of these houses, they're 1,200 square feet. There's a lot of 1,200 square feet. That's a pretty standard starter
Yeah,
size.
yeah,
home.
yeah.
That's the size of these yards. The whole lot is
Oh, yeah,
1,200 square
yeah,
feet down here.
yeah.
I'm thinking, wow, imagine that's being the size of your whole yard. So then your house has to be built on that.
I wonder if they argue who's gonna mow the yard.